Hey everyone, it's Blair here at Time Trades. I got something a little different for you this week. I wanted to share a little bit of, reflection in terms of my own personal journey in trading, how Time Trades has improved and helped me progress, and some of the new challenges that are on deck here. So I'm dividing this little presentation into two sections. The first section relates to what happened prior to September 2nd and what happened after September 2nd. And what is important about September 2nd? Well, September 2nd, I implemented a change to the Time Trades predictive engine based on the recommendation of a friend I met here on Twitter. And that friend also happens to be a data scientist and machine learning expert. So with the help of that, we made some optimizations, and that resulted in increased accuracy in the predictions, as well as more confident predictions. So what happened to my trading? Because that's really what it's all about. So you can divide things into what happened before this change and what happened after this change. Before this change, I was still challenged to find profitable trades, but afterwards the win rate went up and the challenge became profit taking and getting mechanical and reliable and consistent about taking profits. Before this change, I was really kind of focused on my own personal account balance, but afterwards I also implemented another change right about the same time in terms of what is the key metric that I'm looking at. And I decided, instead of focusing on account balance, I would focus on net closed profit per week. So this is closed winners minus closed losers. And I wanted that to be sort of the metric that determines whether I had a good week trading or not. The win rate before September 2nd was about 38%. So 38% of my trades were winners. After September 2nd, the win rate went up to 50%. However, that also includes 5 losers that were in profit that I didn't take because I got a little undisciplined in terms of profit taking. So if we were to add those losers back in, then that would have been a 70% win rate with a little bit more discipline. So you can see how the problems are starting to change here. The challenges in the trading are starting to change. Trade selection before September 2nd was focusing on a handful of, or a smaller number of symbols. After September 2nd, I really started making a lot more use of the activity rating on the models page to find high probability setups regardless of the stock. So the breadth of symbols that I am trading actually increased quite a bit after September 2nd. And personally, my trading focus shifted. It was really about, before September 2nd, it was really about trying to find a profitable method that combined time and price. And after September 2nd, it's now shifted to be focused more on consistent execution, risk management, and mechanical profit taking. So it's been an interesting progression over the last 2 months, and I thought it would be important to just sort of like take a step back and share all of this with you in the hopes that you can learn from this as well. All right, so I share a lot of stuff on Twitter, and I just wanted to sort of summarize overall the method that I'm using here on a single slide. Again, this isn't a recommendation. I'm not telling you how to trade. Feel free to adjust this, ignore this, or change it as needed. All right. But it starts with the philosophy of combining time and price together to create an edge, right? I want to use all of the information I can on the chart. The next step, and these are literal steps in the process, the next step is to use the activity rating to find those symbols with high upcoming activity. And by activity, I mean it could be a pivot high, pivot low, big move up, or big move down. Those are all of the key metrics that are predicted by the timetrades.com machine learning. And then we switch to the chart on time trades to find high probability future pivots and moves up and move down based on the activity rating. And at each step along the way here, I'm filtering out potential trades, right? So maybe the activity rating is too low, that gets ignored. Maybe I don't like the way the chart looks because there's too much ambiguity, so that gets ignored. So as I progress down these steps, I'm slowly narrowing the funnel in terms of the trades that I'm going to consider. Next, I flip over to price and pull up TradingView and take a look at Pythagorean support resistance level on higher time frames like daily or weekly. I want to know where those Pythagorean support resistance levels are. And I also put on a Tom DeMark sequential indicator on a 26-minute chart. I really like the 26-minute time frame, by the way, at least for my sort of short-term-ish trading style, which kind of borders between day trading and swing trading. But 26 minutes may seem like a weird number, but that works out to 15 bars per trading day for a stock, not crypto. You'd use a different time frame for crypto, which trades 24/7, of course. But for stocks, 26-minute charts with the Tom DeMark sequential indicator works really well. There's a bunch of books out there to explain how to use that. So yeah, that helps to identify entries and exits and where likely pivots are. And then after that, if we've still got a good trade after all that, then I like to look for options that expire 2 to 3 weeks after the target high probability move. And this is where the timing element of time trades is super useful, because I can buy just as much time as I need on options. And in effect, I've got a time stop, right? Because I know that if this move does not happen by that given time, then that setup was wrong and I can bail. So I like to choose 2 to 3 weeks because that minimizes the theta burn, because theta or time value of an option decreases exponentially in the last 2 to 3 weeks before option expiry. And yes, I'm aware of the limitations of purchasing options and the advantages, the relative advantages of selling spreads and selling options as well. So that's something I'm looking to add to this strategy in the future. But I just wanted to summarize my method and approach here. And maybe this works for you, maybe it doesn't. It's just some information. All right. I mentioned Pythagorean support resistance. You're probably like, what the heck is that? Now, I picked this up from a book that I recommend every chance I get. It's very expensive, but it's very heavy and it's very complete. You will use it regularly as a reference. It's like an encyclopedia of GAN trading techniques. What you can do is to implement these Pythagorean support resistance levels, you just simply plug in these values into your fib retracement tool in whatever charting system you're using. The screenshot here is from TradingView, but it's really just these levels here, and you can use them as you would use them a Fibonacci support resistance line. Okay, so the next frontier, I guess, in terms of my own trading evolution is to move towards more mechanical profit taking. But so I wanted to share the plan. Of course, plans will change. So let's see how this works over the next little bit. In general, I would like to take off 75% of the trade at 75% profit. Given the style of trading that I have, that seems to be a good threshold for profit taking. I don't want to get stuck holding these things too long, because that's how my winners turn into losers. And I can always leave the remainder as runners. That I think mentally that's an important part of managing fear of missing out here, or FOMO, and just keeping a fraction of the original position around will help to participate in any continuation move. Going forward, I'm going to adjust, this plan as needed, but this is kind of the baseline that I want to implement a lot more consistently to try to make my trading more consistently profitable. Social media is brutal, right? Like, there's so many people bragging about, 1,000+% returns on 0 days to expiry calls on, like Lotto Fridays and stuff like that. This is just a recipe for massive FOMO, or fear of missing out. So mentally, I find I'm better off just ignoring accounts that tend to tweet out stuff like this. The focus, at least for my trading, I think for the next evolution of my trading, needs to be on compounding those base hits and not hitting home runs, and just doing it consistently. And I think the hard part is doing it consistently, because things can get out of hand when you're on a winning streak and you think you're God's gift to trading, and visions of Lamborghinis dance in your head. So it's really important to keep that discipline up even when you're doing well. One of the follows I recommend is Pro Trader K, or Options Pro Chick. She's a great follow here. She's trades a totally different method from me, very much a day trading method, ignoring time, just focusing on price, and that's okay. But she's very, very good at mechanically taking profits. So this is one of the accounts I like to follow, and see the discipline that she's applying to her trading. Okay, so to wrap things up, the goal that I'm focused on is just to become consistently profitable. And I think that's probably most people's goal that is watching this. I've got some interesting learnings over the last few months that I'm sharing. At the end of the day, there is no silver bullet. You got to put in the work. There's no shortcuts here. And some traders are naturally talented, and they can get by on using price only to trade profitably. I can't. I imagine most people are like me, and need to use all the information available to them. So I want to bring together price and time and look for those confluences. It's important to choose the right metric to measure progress, right? And I can't emphasize enough how important it was, that shift in metric from looking at account balance to looking at closed net weekly profit. That made a huge shift in the success of my personal trading. And I would encourage you to look closely at what metric you guys are using to measure success, okay? So I really just wanted to share this with everyone because of this interesting journey over the last couple months. And it's really been kind of a transition from the technical problem of how to make money to the mental problem of how to consistently make money. So I think with a little bit more practice and deeper understanding of myself, and the real takeaway here is that having this burst of consistent profitability has exposed kind of the next problem that I need to solve in my trading journey, and that's just the mental discipline of consistent execution. Okay, so that's it for me. I'll probably do another video this week to talk a little bit about some of the setups I'm seeing on time trades, but I wanted to share this little different approach with you guys. Hope you found it useful. Good luck, trade safe, and we will talk to you next week. Thanks. Bye now.